So today I want to talk about physical CD media. We absolutely live in a day of broadband, wireless access and streaming service for music that exists everywhere. And, why would someone buy an actual physical CD when it's sort of like an albatross? It's an anchor. You can't do anything with a plastic disc unless you're by a CD player. And more these days, who has CD players, whether the portable kind or the console stereo kind, or even a disk drive in their computer? Well, what's interesting is that there was this music conference in 2009, the MidemNet Digital Conference, where JYP, the founder of the JYP Entertainment Company, told a story about how in the late 90s, South Korea got broadband faster, or well, earlier than we did here in the States. And while we also had Napster here and we had all sorts of piracy problems, it was worse for them there because broadband was already so accessible. It didn't take people 5 to 10 minutes to download a song. They could download them in seconds. So 90% of their market was eradicated for music sales. So what happened was part of a transformation where each of their physical releases were no longer about the music on the CD itself, but becoming sort of gift sets, collectibles. And it's true. I don't play these discs in a CD player. I'll put them in my computer to rip them to my server. But otherwise, if you want to listen to something, you go to YouTube or Spotify or any of a number of different services where you have instant access to the world's collection of music. So what happened, again, is each of these became a sort of gift set. If you're going to buy something, then give something that the fans want as a souvenir, something cool that can't be replicated by downloading them. Unfortunately, these came in a lot of different form factors. What I have here are 4 examples of albums from Twice. This is the same band, the same record company, but they don't look the same on your shelf. And as a collector, that's really annoying. But let's go through a walkthrough here. So what I've got here are examples of the primary kinds that you'll often see. So one of the most common is this sort of hardbound book kind. You flip it open. You've got your CD with a randomized member on it because you got to catch them all, just like Pokemon. This one has the lyrics in a booklet, a separate booklet. Oops, let's move this real quick. And then you've got a big old photo book here with collectible trading cards of the different members, right? And depending on the size of the group, you can have like hundreds of different ones per album release for the fanatical collectors to try to get them all. So that's one book. This one is similar, but it's square. It's hardbound, just like the other one. Disc, photo book, trading cards. This one's got a accordion type thing that folds out. Let's put that back. Another kind are these sort of box type presentations. This one's got a flip cover, but there are others that have just a full lift up. And then you've got your pack-ins, photo book, trading cards, yada yada, your CD. You've got the sort of magazine style ones. This one comes in a slip cover, but instead of being hardbound and durable, this is floppy and bends. But thankfully, it's got a thicker cardboard cover. Often it's a double thickness. I'm not sure if this comes across, but it's got some level of manufacturing design to make sure that at least, even though it's not hard, rigid, that it's still fairly durable. So this is what the Korean market did, right? They made all these collectible sets, and what you notice is primarily most of these things are paper. So you've got book covers, you've got lots of sheets of photographs, you got trading cards, bookmarks, that kind of thing. And it gives value to the CDs because the music that's on the CD is worthless in the matter of it costs nothing, $0 to access it. You don't have to buy anything. So what you're actually buying are these packs of sheets of printed paper. And so Twice belongs to one of the top record companies in South Korea. So they've got really nice and thick photo books. But really, even the small companies are able to produce things like these because it doesn't cost too much to print out paper. So it costs them a little, and they can get a good return from the fans. And compared to US CDs, like a US CD costs about, let's say, between $10 to $15. And you typically don't get much inside of it aside from the music. If you're a music fan and you buy a CD, in the US, typically you're just getting music. And more, you're not even getting durable packaging. So for example, this one from Ellie Goulding, it calls out that the packaging is compostable. So we've got this plant-based plastic here, and then a cardboard sleeve, and a disc inside, and a little booklet. And typically that's all you get with a US release is you've got the booklet as the extra little pack-in with lyrics and credits and sometimes some photographs. This one is a special edition with a poster in it as well. But I would bet you that the plastic CD is also compostable. And as a collector, I want something that's durable and long-lasting. So I feel like this is not very collector-friendly. And I don't know that people in the US who just want to listen to music would buy a CD. Only a collector would still buy a physical object. So yeah, like I said, around $10, $15 for this. The Korean albums are around $20, not factoring shipping. But once you ship them to the US, if you get them at a discount, they're around $25 to $30. So it is more. It does cost more than buying just a CD, but I think that the value is there, especially for collector fans. And you see, like I said, my original point was, even within a band, there's a lot of variation in form factor, and it's really annoying when you put it on your shelf. But these are the typical ways that you see things packaged. In Japan, it's like the US, but worse, because in Japan, they like physical media, or they like to price physical media super expensive. So it's packaged just like a US album in a typical plastic jewel case. The Japanese like to put a lot of their informational material on this J card. It's called a J card because it wraps around the spine of the case, and it looks like the letter J, you know, the letter J, like that. And this one in particular has a thickish booklet in it. I haven't opened it yet. I'm a little hesitant to, but I don't have any of the Twice Japanese albums because those are ridiculously expensive, like I was saying. And unlike the Korean albums, they don't typically have many nice collectibles in there. About a month ago, Play M released a new group, and this one, Weekly with 3 E's, I think they have a very unique concept for the album. I showed you the typical ones, but this one, Weekly, is like a weekly planner, a calendar. So it's spiral bound, and then you flip it open, you got a little pocket as if it was like a school folder. You got stickers for decorating, and it looks like this. So here's where, as if it were a real planner that you would write in, you could put in your schedule, your to-do list. Let's see, here's a little calendar page. So I think this is a really unique concept in a world where despite one band having so many different form factors, these still match what is typical from a K-pop album. But this is really unique. And unfortunately, you can see on the spine, it doesn't say who the band is. You've got the record companies listed here, but really, who cares about that? But at least because this is a unique binding that they've done, you can pretty much guess immediately. If you've bought this album and you're not just looking at a store, you can pretty easily guess who this is. Oops. Another thing I like about this is the care in the photographs. Let's see if we can find a spread. So the composition of this is nice because they composed the photographs and laid them out in the book, acknowledging that there's a divide in the photo. So you can see this composition cleanly puts people on either side of the break in the middle, and no one's head is cut off. I think I've got a few other examples. Let's flip through here. There will be some interesting composition. Yeah, so here's a single photograph. It spans 1.5 pages, but if you flip it, or if you just bend it in half, or consider it in half, that's a full composition, and it's not really ruined by there being a gutter in the middle. Same with that one. Yeah, so I think this is a really thoughtful one. The main singer, the leader, I think, is named Monday, and I'm embarrassed to say that it took me way too long to consider that the band's name, Weekly, might have been related to building the band around a girl named Monday. But this is one of my favorite new band debuts so far this year. I highly recommend them. They're the junior group of A-Pink. Really good, energetic, youthful vibe.